he's
Okay, we are ready for Iowa players Chris Murray, Philip Rabracha, and Connor McCaffrey. If you would, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone, and please remember to state your name and affiliation. Front.
David Eichel, 24/7 Sports. Connor, now that you've gotten the chance to kind of dissect Auburn's team, what stands out about their defense? They're one of the best perimeter defending teams in the country.
Yeah, their pressure. They really fly at shooters, so definitely going to need to deal with that and kind of adjust, throughout the game. But they really get up in your space. They're athletic. They're fast. Obviously, we've all seen that. So just going to need to be a disciplined game. Try to not let them speed us up.
Adam Jacoby, Rivals.com. We've heard a few times that the team wants to take sort of a business-like approach to preparing for this game, but also you guys as seniors, you two in particular, this is sort of a big deal. How do you balance that emotion with the attempt to, prepare it a normal way?
I mean, it's definitely difficult. It's emotional. Speaking for myself, this could be one of my last games as a Hawkeye and probably like one of the last games in my college career. But I'm out here, enjoying my time, and I gotta still stay focused because if we win, I feel like we can, make a run. So just executing the game plan and just having a business-like approach, like you said, is key.
Yeah, and for me as well. This kind of last year, I wasn't sure if I was going to come back or not, using my COVID year. So it kind of all hit me at once after last year because I didn't really think about that kind of stuff. And so it ended up not being great for me. So like this year, I've tried to deal with it better, kind of look more big picture throughout the entire season and handle it earlier on. And then, as we wind down, we only have a couple games, only I think 6 possible games left to go. So my career is obviously coming to an end, and just kind of deal with that as it goes.
Mason Smith with Bama Central. Obviously, Chris, top NBA prospect. How are you kind of just balancing that and make sure you prepare for NCAA Tournament run with your teammates?
Yeah, I just think it's something that I have to look at like after the season. So I'm just focusing on my team, just trying to do whatever we can to win these next few games, the next couple of days, and throughout the season. I mean, obviously, that could be in the future, but honestly, I just take it game by game, just enjoy this time with my teammates. Because we got a couple guys here, it's going to be the last time around. So just try to enjoy it with them, enjoy it with the whole team.
Back up front.
Philip, I mean, Auburn's one of the best shot blocking teams in the country, especially down low. Is there a defense that you've played against this season that kind of reminds you of it, and how do you kind of prepare to go up against that?
I'm not sure. I feel like in the Big Ten we have teams that are really good shot blockers. Like for example, Rutgers. Amori is a great shot blocker. Trace, Trace too. So we have great players too that are elite shot blockers. So you gotta really take your time and be patient. But I don't think this is anything that will. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before, but we respect that they're elite at it. So we just gotta understand when you drive in there, what's gonna happen.
Any more questions? Okay, gentlemen, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we are ready for Coach Fran McCaffrey. If you would, please raise your hand and we'll get you a mic, and please state your name and affiliation. Very back, Coach.
Hi, Coach. Bob Hanson, Hawkeye Radio Network. Good to see you again.
Good to
Coach.
see you, Bobby.
Yeah. So you're one win away from 20 wins once again. I got 5, 6, 7 years in a row. Talk about this team and the uniqueness of this group of guys.
I think, Bobby, coming into the season, we thought we could be a good team, but we lost a lot from last year. You lose the 4th pick, you lose a guy that scored 2,000 points. We lost quite a bit, and other people had to step up in different roles, and they did that. And Philip Rebracha, I think, took his game to a whole nother level, which was critical to our success. One of the main reasons why we're here. I thought, Connor McCaffrey had a spectacular season across the board as a leader, filling the stat line. Our point guard position was handled, primarily by Jordan Bohannon for a long time. Somebody else had to step up. We kind of did it, obviously with Aaron Eulis, but a little bit point guard by committee. We played Tony there. We played Connor there. We played Josh Dix there. We played DeSante Bowen there. Chris Murray had to take that next step, which he did. His entire life he's been playing with his brother, and now, it was more of his show, and he put up incredible numbers, really consistent. All those guys were. We got a spectacular season, which I think we thought we would after we moved Tony Perkins into the starting lineup last year. The last part of the season, you figured he would come in and kind of have the year he did. That was critical. But I thought the guys were locked in from day one. We start practice in June now, as you know, and I thought really came together. Our experienced guys and our younger guys. Great attitude in the locker room, and it's a fun team to coach.
Here in the middle.
David Eichholt, 24/7 Sports. Fran, how big was it to get Patrick going? I think over the last couple of games, had 23 against Nebraska. Kind of looks like he got his legs more under him. I know you said he's been practicing well.
He was, David. He had been practicing well. I don't think, like you said, when he first came back, that he did have his legs underneath him. He wasn't the same, but he was still fairly productive due to his skill set and his experience. But he's really stepped up in the last couple of weeks and played very well. Gives us a veteran guy, a guy who's been a starter, is capable of being a starter, double-figure scorer. I think his defense and rebounding have really improved. And it gives you another weapon offensively, along with, Peyton Sanford on the perimeter. Those two guys coming off the bench. Peyton, of course, 6th man of the year. Also took a step. We're going to talk about the team in reference to Bobby's question. He was spectacular all season as well.
To your left.
Adam Jacoby, Rivals.com. Could you talk a little bit more about the senior leadership that you've gotten from Philip and Connor, especially as the season's been sort of up and down from a wins-losses perspective, how they've kept it steady?
I think it's absolutely critical that those guys led the way they did, because you're right. In our league, being as balanced as it is, you can feel really good one day and not so good the next day. It's hard to win on the road in any league, but in our league, it's really difficult. And the ability to stay the course and to remain professional and businesslike in your approach every night in this league is not going to happen unless you have that kind of leadership, especially with your young guys. When you need them to contribute the way they have, it's the communication not only on the court as it's happening in real time, but in the locker room after a tough loss, on the bus, on the plane, having those kind of conversations from someone other than the coaching staff is what develops confidence. And that's the only way a young guy is going to produce at this level. So coaching's important, but leadership from your seniors like Connor and Phillip, there's just no substitute for that.
Very back. Coach, let's talk about the matchup. Auburn, Bruce Pearl spent time at Iowa. I know you're friends with Bruce. Just elaborate a little bit on that relationship and then what the type of style in the game we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to know Bruce actually when he was at Iowa. I was at Notre Dame and got to know Coach Davis well, Gary Close, Rich Walker, that staff. I've been friends with Bruce ever since. Done a spectacular job everywhere he's been. They run really good stuff. I think they execute well at the half-court level. They can play fast. They can grind it at half-court if they want to. But I think ultimately they defend. They're going to put pressure on the ball. They're going to, challenge you on your actions, and then also fight you on the glass. So a lot of times when you get to this point in the season, everything that happens, a lot of times it comes down to rebounding the ball, and they're really good at it. So that'll be a challenge for us.
Back in the middle.
Fran, I know Bruce Pearl's teams are very heavy on ball pressure and physicality. Is there any team that you guys have played this year that kind of resembles the style of defense they like to play?
I think they're different than teams in our league, but there are components that are similar. I mean, Rutgers is one that comes to mind, half-court defense. Northwestern, half-court defense. Then you have teams like Maryland that are really quick and athletic, like them. Indiana, same thing. So we've seen a lot of what we'll see in different ways from different teams in our league. Nobody wants to hear from him.
Your father-in-law wants to ask a question. Talk about playing Auburn. I don't want to an hour away from campus here or an hour and a half. No matter, or just tee it up. Let's play.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to think much about that. I mean, obviously, from a fan's perspective, fans want your team closer. So, for them, I'm sure they're excited about it. But as far as how we look at this game and how we prepare, it'll be the same. We see a lot of hostile environments in our league. Okay, thanks, guys.